Hasbro Marvel Legends Electro, based on his appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home. Taking a quick look at the box, here we have the art on the side. On the back is the same piece of art, but much larger, and we have his little read up here. You can feel free to pause in order to read it all. On the bottom we have all those warnings. On the other side, smaller version of that art and his name, bottom, UPC, legal information, and at the top, the Spider-Man No Way Home logo. Having gotten out of the box, we're going to determine now if this figure is indeed worth the $40 price point that Hasbro is selling it at. Looking at the figure, it's proportioned well. Looks like a tiny Jamie Foxx. Loving the details. Here are the accessories. He comes with 2 additional hands, with a right semi-relaxed and a left more splayed power-using hand, as well as the 2 fists that he has installed with him out of the box, and these new lightning pieces that Marvel introduced with this Electro as well as the female Electro from their comic book line. So here we can see the different hands, and on the lightning bolts there are 2 little kind of C-clips on the bottom. There we are, there's one. These clip around the wrists to make it look like he's using his powers, which is pretty cool. I prefer this much more than what Hasbro Black Series does with their Force Lightning Effects hands, and much more than what they did with Bro Thor from Avengers Endgame, with just a couple blue lightning pieces that you have to thread his arm through to get it to look right. And these are very versatile too. You can have him make him look like he's shooting his lightning, or you can just have it look like he's radiating with his electricity. I will say the C grips aren't quite as big as I feel they should be for this figure. They do end up very stretched out. They do snap back because they're rubbery plastic, but leaving them installed on the figure over time can leave them permanently kind of open too far. But I can't deny how good it looks when they're all installed, especially with the inclusion of the lightning around the face. Taking a closer look at the details here, you can see they almost went all 9 yards with this. I would say it's just there, but it could have been slightly better. You got the hoses here all over the body. They do peg into the different limbs, different parts of the body. Some of them are glued, some of them are not, which does end up helping with articulation, but they do look good. I do wish some of them were more glued, but like I said, It does help with articulation, and if you get this figure and you decide you want them to all be glued down, you totally can. The ones on the legs here, they are meant to be pegged in to the legs, but there just simply isn't enough length in the hose and enough stretch in those rubbery pieces for it to properly plug in where it needs to be plugged in. But the hoses, a lot of them kind of hinder the articulation. And speaking of, we have a ball and hinge for the head. You can look up to there. You can look down to there, bury the chin. Very good. Plenty of range. His arms will go up to there. You can see how the hose unplugs itself. They can rotate forward to there before the hoses kind of block it. But they can go back a little further, so if you want his arms all the way up, you can just go the other way around. He has a rotation up at the bicep, double elbow, pinless, which is nice. The hose does get out of the way of itself, and with the hand kind of flat, you can get all the way up. With all the hands, he has a hinge in and out, or up and down, depending on how you look at it, but this silver plate on the back of his hand does get in the way. You can tuck it into the wrist to get a little more up range, but I don't want to scratch the paint. He's got a ball at the diaphragm and a ball at the waist. He can tilt to there, and you can see here more bits of the hose kind of unplugging to make sure it doesn't self-destruct. He can tilt to the left all the way to there, and the other hose stays intact. He can crunch to there, trying to tuck in some of the detail into his belt. Not working, but he can crunch to there. He can arc back to there. Legs can kick forward, out to there. The hoses, like I said, they unplug to get out of the way, which is nice. They can go forward there, back to there, swivel at the upper thigh, and double pinless knee. But like I said, there is not enough play in those hoses to really get the full range of articulation that you would want, which is disappointing. And of course, the panel that is glued to his lower leg is glued, not just pegged in. His Timberlands here go back to there, forward to there, and forward facing pin for rocker. But I will say, the right foot, because of the detail of the pants, you can get it to go past that point to better match the left side, but you're then warping the plastic, and going forward, they don't go up as far either. So there is, out of the box, as is, without forcing anything, less articulation in the right foot than there is the left foot. Doesn't bother me too much, but I know it bothers some people. And moving on to some size comparisons. Here we have him next to G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes and Hasbro Black Series Clone Trooper, 501st Clone Trooper that I custom painted. Make sure you check out the link in the card up above. Here we have him next to some members of his own movie with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and the Green Goblin, Tom Holland's Spider-Man and Sandman, and his movie mate, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. As of right now, the lizard from this movie is available for purchase on Amazon, which I will be doing as well. And when we get that figure, I'll redo these comparisons. And we have him here with Doc Ock and Venom, who only appeared in the movie for a split second at the end. Could have been a whole Sinister Six, but instead we got a Fiendish Five. And here we have him with a more recent Marvel live-action offering, MCU offering, and that of Harrison Ford's Red Hulk from Captain America: Brave New World. So, overall, final thoughts here. It's a great figure. I am really glad I got it. I do think Hasbro was able to get around the likeness rights for Jamie Foxx by using the lightning on his face that way, which makes me still wonder why it's so expensive. The female Electro and the comic book cardback wave that just came out is the same thing, an Electro body with 2 additional hands and the lightning pieces, and it's $25. So why is this one $40? Very, very good questions. Either way, I love it. If you can wait for it to be on clearance, go for it. That's what I wanted to do, but I didn't want to risk losing out on it. Otherwise, you're looking at $40 if you want to complete that No Way Home collection, which I do. But now that we're done with the review, we're going to go ahead and shoot this guy. I have an idea that I'm setting up here with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and Electro, and we're just going to get into it. I'm going to end the video here. Otherwise, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe down below, turn on that notification bell so you get notified whenever I post new videos. I do crafts and reviews. Otherwise, I hope you guys stick around to the end and let me know what you think of the photo. Have a good one wherever you guys are.
Thank you.